Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today for this video we're going to be taking a look at this. It's Shadow the Hedgehog from Sonic 3. Oh man, he's so cool. Man, he's so cool, guys. I really love this figure and this character. He's probably one of my favorite Sonic characters, out of all. He's just he's just awesome. I mean, look at him, he looks so cool. Man, I also love the movie as well, Sonic 3. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out. It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna throw any spoilers in there, so just check it out. I think it's now available on Paramount Plus. I think. I'm not quite sure. Just check it out. But anyway, so again, I glad I got this figure. I've been wanting to get this figure for a while. Actually, I have bought a Shadow figure, but also along with the Shadow bike, which I'll show you in a bit. Let me just place right here so you can see a side-by-side comparison. So here's the Shadow figure with the Shadow bike, or the bike as well by itself. So you're probably all familiar with this figure and the bike. Um, I just want to do a little side-by-side comparison as soon as I get the figure out of the box, and show you a little side-by-side comparison about the differences between the two figures. So anywho, so let me put this aside. So again, this is Shadow again, and you can see all the other characters. You got Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, and awesome design on Shadow right there. And it's by Jack Specific right there. I kind of do miss the old Sonic toys back in the day, but I think Jack Specific are probably doing better with the Sonic toys. So that's pretty cool. And the back just tells you more about Shadow and other stuff. And and this says here, it has 22 points of articulation. That's pretty cool. And all the other figures in the line, you got Supersonic. That's really cute. KO mascot Tails. That's pretty cool. And Knuckles. I am missing Knuckles, so yeah. But anywho, so that's the box. Now let's get him out of the box and show you the figure itself. So okay, so I finally got him out of the box, and just so you know, this is the figure that I just got it out of the box, and this is the figure from the Shadow bike. Here, let me just place right here so you can see. So again, so here's the figure. Again, that took me a while to get him out of the box, but here it is. And let me just show you the differences between the two figures. Here, let me start with this one. So this is here, let me move him out of the way a little bit. Okay, so this is the Shadow figure with the bike. And the difference between this Shadow figure, if you look at, oh, there we go, knocked it over. If you notice the sculpt of the head, it's pretty, it's pretty okay. Again, not too bad, not too out of how do you say it? Not bad shape, but it is a pretty good sculpt of the head. And as you notice, there's like a little bit of movement, a little bit of a a little bit of a joint to the head. And however, I love how detailed this figure is, including his shoes. And however, his hands, they're not like there's no articulation in his hands. Of course, you could like rotate them and stuff like that, but they don't like open or close like the other figure, which I'll show you in a bit. But again, the only reason why they made these hands like close, is to obviously to have a good grip on the motorbike or the motorcycle. But it's still pretty cool. It's a pretty cool figure. I really like it. But Oh yeah, and its eyes though. Its eyes are not they're not plexiglass material actually, like the other figure. And of course the little grin on his mouth right there. It's more like a more like a mad type of face right there, more like a mad. However, onto the other figure. There I go, knocking it over again. Here I'm gonna lay it down because it's pretty hard to having them stand up. You know, they're not. These figures are not self-sustained. You know, but here's the other figure that I just got out. Um, and like it said, this has more articulation than the other figure. I don't remember how much articulation this figure has, but as you can see, it doesn't have enough. Like I said about the hands and other stuff, including the waist of his body right there. So here's the other figure with the 22 points of articulation. As you can see, he has like a double joint on the arms, and like I said about the hands they do open and close. And I think it's possible you could replace this figure with, I mean, you could replace this shadow figure with this figure for the bike if you wanted to. And like I said about the eyes, look, they're kind of like a plexiglass material. And his mouth is more like a grumpy type of face, you know, like a more angrier type. Whereas I think that's pretty cool, pretty funny right there. But and the skull with the head, if you notice, it's a little different than, I find it a little shorter than the other figure. Here, let me show a little side by side comparison. Well, on camera they could, I don't know, in person they look quite different, but on camera they look quite the same. But again, it's just my opinion there. But again, it's pretty cool. And again, a little in his shoes. I really like his shoes. They're pretty cool. and let me show you a little another side by side comparison. The scale of these figures, they're quite the same. However, this figure is a little more longer than this one, and the scope of the head is the scope of the head of this figure looks a little bit bigger, and this one a little more smaller, in my opinion. Oh, and there it goes. There it goes again. Like, oh, like I said, these figures are not self-sustained. Yeah, it's really hard to keeping them stand up. But anywho, but let me just show you for once the scale on these figures. They're really So I do have a Tails figure, by the way. And this figure, I mean, they're not the same height, but obviously they're the same scale of figures. And let me do a side by side comparison with the Sonic 2 figure. Here's Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic 2. I'm not sure if this is the right scale of these figures. I'm not sure if they ever did. I'm not quite sure. I had to do a little research on that. But anywho, so just look at the height. So I'm guessing they went all at it for this movie, you know, for Sonic 3, including the other figures as well. I got the little figures from Sonic 3. You got Sonic here, Knuckles, Tails, and of course Shadow, and Supersonic. I am missing Dr. Eggman, I believe. I think he's the last figure out of these figures, but I'm not quite sure. I gotta do a little research on that. But anywho, so yeah, guys. So that's pretty much for this video. And again, these are really not the figures we're talking about in this video. But again, it's usually about Shadow right here. So, but again, so there you have it. the Shadow the Hedgehog figure. He's looks pretty awesome. Again, all hands for Shadow. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again another unboxing toy review video. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and take care.